Hi there, welcome to my July card class to go tutorial video. Thank you also for tuning into my channel, Stampin' with No. I appreciate you being here. If you are new to my channel, are not familiar with how I do the card classes to go, stay till the end. I've got some dates and some things to go over with you, but I'm really excited. I want to get started with this video and making these cards. I've just had a blast with it. The July theme was supposed to be focusing on embossing folders, either through the online exclusives or embossing folders that are found in the annual catalog. And that's what I started out with. And then I found a stamp set that I ended up using on all of the kits. And I don't know, it might have just replaced my theme of focusing on embossing folders. I just think it may have taken the limelight, but we'll see what you guys think at the end of the video. It might be a toss-up between the embossing folders I picked plus the stamp set that I picked, and I'll show you here what that stamp set is in just a second. So the embossing folders that I picked for this month, and this one is found through the online exclusive. It's the mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. This one just came out. I absolutely love it. I'm really liking the 3D embossing. I just don't know what it is, but this is the Sunflower 3D, again, through the online, and I'm pretty sure it got released this month. So hopefully, I didn't even check inventory. So if this is something you guys like to do, don't wait, because I'm telling you, the things on the online exclusives, they do sell out pretty quick. And then with fall coming, this 3D embossing folder would be perfect for the fall time frame. Then this one is through the annual catalog, and actually I just got this a couple weeks ago, and it's just been sitting here. It's called So Swirly. So I thought, well, I'm just going to pull that out and we'll just play with it and see what happens. Now, what I think is the star of the show here, we shall see, is this got released this month also. I'm pretty sure it was July, through the online exclusive, and it is called Not 29 Anymore. I mean, does the title tell you anything? So here are the sayings. I don't know. They're me, I think. I think they're saying, Teresa, so happy you got this. The sayings, so many candles. I mean, you can just feel the expression when you read it, right? Free cake, I mean, and then you can obviously mix and match some of the sayings. Let's get this party started so I can be home by 9. Guilty. Older but ... You can add still cool or not wiser. Then, I don't know about you, but I feel like you're not 29 anymore. Got some friends you've said that to? It's all fun and games until your metabolism slows down. I think I've actually said that. Happy birthday. Treat yourself because I didn't get you anything. And then, lastly, here's to another year of questionable decisions. I've got some good friends that applies to. I'm sure you do too. So I'm really excited I was able to incorporate this in addition to the embossing folders. So let me move this out of the way, and let me bring over the first card. And I also did funfold. It's the exact same funfold on all 3 cards, but slightly different. And then at the end, you'll see when I put them all together that they are truly different. This funfold, and it could actually be for as a masculine card, right? Opens up this way. Let's see if we'll make sure we're in the camera. All right. And I've got free cake. I mean, happy birthday. That's pretty appropriate, right? That's a good saying. So this is the first one we're going to do. And this is done, I'll talk about that color stamp in just a second. But let me move that over, and let me bring everything over that I need to do it, and then I'll quickly go over what comes in your kit. All right, you're going to get your envelope. The card base, now it's going to come to you, I'm going to say semi-scored because I'm putting it in the envelope. But I can't stress enough, just make sure that you actually give it a good burnish. because the many layers, the thickness and all that, you want to make sure it's a good burnish. Okay, so you're going to get your card base. Come to you, cut, and I'm going to say semi-scored, okay? You're going to get the piece that is already embossed with that corrugated 3D, a piece of DSP, and then a label to stamp, another label, and these two go on the inside. You're going to get 2 circles, one small and one large, and then some linen thread to work with, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get some stamping done. I want to talk about one of the colors, and it's going to be listed in my written tutorial what color, but I just want people to be aware of what I have found. The basic beige, I think you guys have been told, and have actually, those that actually have it, have seen where when you stamp it, it has a green color, like a dark soft seafoam green. But then when it dries, it turns, I'm going to say, the beige color. Well, when I was working on this, I had my stamp set. It was not turning back to beige. So I don't know, you know, I called Stampin' Up. They're so awesome about that. And I told them that I'm going to take one of the ink spots and just ink it up. And I recently did this, so I really can't say that it works, because I'm wondering now if the basic beige is having a reaction, chemical reaction to our foam, similar to the, is it cloud cover? That was having the reaction. So you're going to see me in today's video use an ink spot, but it's the basic beige. So if you find that it's not turning back to, I say back, but turning beige the way it's supposed to, let Stampin' Up know, because you know, they don't like to have poor quality out there, and the only way they know is if someone's telling them, right? So just a little bit of info there. So we're going to go ahead and stamp up this envelope. And I'm going to use, I just opened up my basic, my early espresso, but we're going to wait on that. I'm going to go ahead and ink up my little ink spot, and I'm going to ink up here. I don't know if you guys can see me. It's going to be off the page, but that's okay. Or off screen, I should say. And then I'm just going to stamp just the corner, just off a bit. All right, and actually, since I have this already inked, I'm going to go ahead and do this circle. So move that over. Again, I'm going to ink it up. Oop, sorry, making noise. That's one of the downsides of having a great glass mat. It does make noise. All right, so I'm just going to right off to the corner. Nothing crazy. There, I think you guys can see where I stamped. All right, we're done with that. And now for the early espresso. And let me put this over there. And I'm going to stamp the leaf full strength. I don't know if you guys can see it, full strength. And then again, and that really doesn't bother me since it's on an envelope, but to me, when I do things like that, I feel like it's hanging. It's kind of hanging by itself. So you know, try to have the stem off the page, but if it doesn't happen, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal, considering it's an envelope, right? So I'm full strength and then half. All right, beautiful. Do the same thing here. It's going to be full strength and then half. And I'm going to make sure that the leaf part is actually in most of the circle. And then there, beautiful. This has been another fun stamp set. All right, so take that over. Now we're going to do some stamping of sayings on this label. And what do we say here? Free cake, I mean. So let's do that one. I don't know if you can see that it's stained. I've been using it quite a bit. I don't know. Things that make me laugh, right? All right, center that. Nice even press. Perfect. All right. And where's my happy birthday? I used happy birthday on another card, I think. Just a second. Here we go. And then happy birthday. Oh, you know what? I got to go back and do the beige. On this one, I actually did the corner, stamped the corner. So I'll do that in just a second. Let me go ahead and stamp this since I have it open. I'm not sure order of sequence it matters in this particular case. Sometimes it does, right? Like if you're shading. Nice even press. There we go. Put this back in the other bin. All right, let me pull out the basic beige again. It's so light that I didn't even notice it with this lighting. And I guess just the light just hit it. So I'm gonna go here, ink it up again, and then right there. Okay, I think we're good. I think you guys can see, right? All right, let me get this out of the way, and then we can assemble this one. All right, a little trick here in the finding the front. This piece is wider than what this one is. And when you actually get this, it'll be obvious. But if not, you can always measure it because I do have that annotated in the written tutorial. So this is your top. And where's that corrugated piece? What we want to make sure is, I'm not ready to glue yet, but since I'm talking about this panel, each of the front panel and the middle panel there's an overhang. I don't know how else to describe it. It's an overhang. So when you're gluing, just make sure you don't put glue on the entire piece that you're adhering, or else you'll glue down your entire card. And then in the written tutorial, I do talk about this being accordion or Z-fold, depending on what people call it. Okay, so before I actually glue this, I want to wrap the linen thread like I have here. And I wrapped it, I think I wrapped it twice and then tied a knot and then a bow, I think is what I ended up doing. So we're gonna see how this works. Since I'm on camera, we're gonna see. Sometimes it works well and sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna go ahead and do a knot. And when you pull, just make sure you don't pull too tight or else you're gonna tear your cardstock. All right, so let me pull that through. Now you could stop at this knot if you don't want a bow. You can certainly just leave it like that, but I'm gonna attempt to do a bow and we're gonna see what happens. It's hard to see here. Sometimes I have to use my tweezers to pull it through. And then I pull it pretty tight, kind of exaggerated loop, and then I hold the knot down with my finger and then slightly pull down so I get where I want. All right, there we go. Hey, that worked, didn't it? All right. And you can always take a little glue dot and tuck it right underneath if you're afraid that the bow will come undone. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down. And another thing you want to make sure, and I did write it, is when you're laying the three, I'm going to call panels, right? 3 of the panels, you want to make sure that your border is even. It's like when you close your card up, that it all flows really nice, as you can see here, where the outer edge all flows. And then you want to also make sure that the third panel is well hidden by that second panel. I think that makes sense. I think it helps to actually see it, right? All right, so we're going to add some glue, and again, I'm not going to glue the entire thing. So let me bring my piercing mat over. So something you could do is, like what I'm going to do here, is just kind of eyeball where the outer edge is. Now you can almost go all the way down here. And then just add some glue. I'm adding a little bit more glue because it is corrugated and I want to get in those creases and crevices. Like, this is a lot of glue for me, but considering what I'm gluing down, I would be embarrassed if it came up. So go ahead and line that up. And I think that's good. It's kind of hard to tell with the piercing mat being almost the same color, right? So just give it a really good press. It does not look like it's crooked, so I did good there, right? Okay. And then we want to glue, let me bring my piercing mat over. We're going to glue this piece to that, and I'm going to do it flat. You could pop it up. You can use dimensionals. That would look nice too. And just center it here. And then I want it there, so I'm going to put my regular dimensionals. I think will be just fine. I'm going to put 4. Put that back so I don't lose it. We've had a busy month so far. I wasn't really even sure I was going to make a video, but I needed it. It's been a crazy time, and I needed to do it, and I'm glad I did. So I'm just centering it. I'm just eyeballing it, actually. And then there we go. There's the front panel. All right, looking good. All right, now let's work on the second panel. And this is the DSP. This is the second panel. And I guess you could go all the way up. I don't know, but I would bring it down a little bit because you want to make sure that this piece actually has a good border for the bottom. All right, so that looks pretty good. Let me see what, yeah, just bringing it down. I think it's almost even on all 3 corners. Sorry, all 3 sides. Spacing, so if that will help you. So again, I would actually put glue on the card itself and just do an outline. Now you don't have to go crazy with the glue since this is DSP. You don't have to go crazy like I did with the first panel. All right, so I'm just gonna eyeball it, and brown, this early espresso is a little hard to see, especially in the video, but I am lining that up. And I lined up here and lined up here. Perfect. We're on a roll. All right, so this piece is going to go right here, and you can center it. You can move it up high, you know, if you want to put another message. I'm just going to kind of sort of, I say kind of sort of, it's not going to be exact, but I'm going to go ahead and center that, and I'm just going to glue it flat. But it probably would work. Embossing it. Don't drop it. All right, so eyeballing it. That looks pretty good. All right, now the third panel is this piece here, and I want to make sure that it gets, closed. I'm going to move it up because it's sticking out just a little bit. I need to move it up just a smidgen when I glue it down. Let's do it this way. All right. Oops. Okay. Going a little bit higher up here than around the edges. Just make sure before I give it a good crease. Perfect. You don't even see it. All right. I said crease, but I meant press. I was thinking about creasing this. All right. So my embellishments, you know, I add those later. So this is card number 1. Pretty easy, right, with that fun fold? I don't think it's difficult at all putting it together. Just, you know, some things you just need to make sure you're aware of when you're doing it, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and let me bring over the second one. I bring everything over and I'll show you this one. Again, same fun fold. The envelope will come to you embossed. Absolutely love this embossing folder. It's just, I can just picture some shading going on here. But this card, you know, the other one opened up this way. This one opens up sideways, like this. What do you think? Like it? And changed it up a little bit. So, this is your card number 2. Move that over there. So with this kit, you'll get your envelope already embossed. Your card, let me pull these out here. Yep. Your card base, don't forget to give it a even better burnish. You're going to have some ribbon. You're going to have a piece of scrap to stamp and then cut up. Let's do this from the back. You're going to get cardstock in basic white for your 3rd panel, cardstock and DSP for your 2nd panel, and then basic white for the 2nd panel sentiment. And then on the front, you'll get a cardstock and the embossed. I absolutely love that, the embossed piece. Okay. So let's do some gluing since these all have, I'm having trouble with my words today. A mat. Easy words, but I'm having trouble. Okay, so let's bring this over and let's glue this one down. Now you could easily shade that, but I just didn't want to. Sometimes people just don't like shading, but it's certainly an option. I enjoy it. Again, I'm putting a lot of glue just because it's a really deep emboss, hence the 3D, and you want to make sure it stays in place. Now, there's no directional on this, which I absolutely love, so you can turn it any way you so choose. Whatever fits. So let's go ahead and we're going to stamp that. Let's go ahead and glue this. Since I'm gluing all these mats, just make it easy. I guess you could use this side, but I just liked pulling out that color. But probably either side would work, just depending on what look you're trying to achieve. I just wanted to pull all the colors together. Now the edge, just a second here, I gotta concentrate, it's crooked. The trim here is real narrow. It's, what is that, 1/8? So if you don't like that, some people don't like the 1/8, some people like just the 1/4, so you'll just have to trim down the DSP and trim down this embossed piece if you want a wider mat. And then I'm not stamping, so I'm safe to glue this one down. Yeah, I don't like to glue anything down if it requires stamping, just in case. You just never know. All right, we are done gluing the mats. Let's move this over. So now we're going to do, let me put my glue back up. Now we're going to do some stamping. Envelope's done. We're going to stamp this, which says, "Let's get the party started so I can be home by 9." Okay, so if you've not said it, I know you've thought it, right? All right, so we're going to stamp that. Looks like that's inked up pretty good. And just centering it. That looks good. And then the other one, which we're going to trim. I got some glue right here. I'm not sure how that happened. The happy birthday. So I'm going to take this strip, move that off to the side, and stamp happy birthday. And then I'll trim it down in just a moment. Let's see if I can get this straight. Ooh, that looks blotchy. Ooh, that's blotchy. Flip it. I'm not sure why that was splotchy. That should not have been splotchy. Yeah, that looks splotchy too. Let me clean this. Hang on. Wasn't expecting that. It didn't do it on the other one though, did it? I don't think it did. If it did, I didn't notice it. Maybe it's a bad spot on my ink pad. That might be. That's still splotchy. Not as bad. Maybe I need to re-ink it. Oh well, that will work. We're going to make it work. The beauty of, I like this side better. I probably had a dry spot. All right, think we're done with the ink. Okay, so let's see here. Let's assemble the card. All right, so we're stamped everything. So again, you want to find the wider side. And what I did here, and it was just easier for me, I glued this down and then I went back and tied the ribbon. As you can tell, the ribbon's right there. Actually, the ribbon was added as an afterthought. That's why it happened that way. And I thought, well, it still looks good. I don't think it looks bad. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the actual card base. Although that's not something I typically do, but I recommend it. It just helps you line up everything better, I think. I think it does. I don't know. Maybe it causes more confusion. So just make sure the 3 corners are lined up evenly and press. Here we go. I'll come back and do the ribbon later. Let's just glue all these pieces down. And we'll do the same thing here. Add that. Let's see here. Come on. I don't want to squeeze too hard. There. Whoop, making a lot of noise, scratching noise. Sorry, guys. I don't know if that is annoying or not. I'm not even sure if it's going to be picked up on the video. There's that. I'll line it up. See how everything lines up? Perfect. All right, so now this one. And this one I'm going to move up just a little bit to make sure that the 3 sides are nice and even. So I can actually put glue on this one. Okay, so put that up a little higher. Let's make sure before I give it a nice press. And it hides, you can't see it. Perfect. Okay. So card opens up this way, right? So we want this piece to be glued here, but you want to, when you're actually looking at this piece of DSP, you're going to have to offset because, you know, the DSP is hanging over. So you just want to move it, just scooch it over to your left. You can center top and bottom, but I would put it over to the left because, you know, obviously you don't want to put it centered because it's going to hang over. That is scored right there, and it's going to hang over, so when you close your card, it's going to stick out. So you don't want that. Well, I don't think you want that, but I mean, you could put it that way, right? It's going to be your kit. You do with it whatever you like, right? All right, so I'm going to center top and bottom and just scooch it over to the left. There we go. Perfect. You can't even see it. Now this one, we're going to take some snips. And I don't know if you've heard the latest on the snips. These are no longer available, which I'm really sad. I wanted to go in and buy a couple more because they're great ribbon snips. And they were all gone. So I hope Stampin' Up! Is successful in finding a replacement. All right, so I'm just cutting. Did I cut it right? Yeah, I just cut that bee off. Well, I think I got another strip here. Just a moment. I thought I did. I do. Darn it. Sorry. Gonna have to do that over. I didn't think I cut that bee off way too much. Or I could use that one. Ah, we're good. We're good. Never mind. All right. I think what happened is that bee that I cut off was from the back side, I think is what it was. And I didn't notice when I cut it if it flipped to the back side. So we're good. It's all good. It's all good. All right, so now we're going to do this one. That one I did straight across. I think you guys can see. I'm going to change it up and just do it at an angle. You could probably pop it up. Not sure with this funfold, being the 3 panels, how much of the dimensionals would impact stuffing the envelope. I don't know. So I kind of like that at an angle. That's a little different, right? I really like this. I cannot wait to play more with it. Okay, so now we need to do the ribbon. And all I did was wrap it and then just tied a knot. I didn't even put a mini dot on there, but you certainly could if there's a fear of it sliding off, like if you don't tie it very tight. You could certainly add that, and I might end up doing that here. So just wrapping it around and then just tying a knot. I don't think a bow would look good because I think it would take away from the embossed flower. Personal preference. All right, that's a little loose. So I am going to add a mini dot. Let's see here. You can tell I'm giving you more than enough. Oops. If you want to put a bow, I'm sure you could. It would work. But that's just personal preference. I'm going to tuck a mini dot right underneath. I roll it here. Right underneath this little knot. And just press down. There you go. You're not going anywhere. All right. That is card number 2. And I did add embellishments here, as you can see. All right. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So it's card number 2. Let's bring it over. Again, same funfold style. I have a mess over here. All right. This one comes with a belly band, and I'll show you that in just a second. Let me bring everything over that I need. All right. So with this one, you'll get a piece of DSP to decorate your envelope. But the way it'll slide out, and there's a little trick to this belly band too. Hopefully in the written tutorial, it will not be confusing. If it is, I recommend, just watching the video again. But it opens up this way, and then you can write your message, or you can add another sentiment there. But this one says, "So many candles. I don't know about you, but I feel like you're not 29 anymore." I thought that the combination was pretty appropriate. All right, so I'm going to leave this off because I'll show you how to make that belly band. All right, so in your kit, you're going to get your envelope. You'll get your piece of DSP for the flap. You're going to, let's see, all these little pieces here. All right, you're going to get your card base embossed, your belly band, and then there's this little piece that's part of the belly band. We have to extend the belly band because it was too short. So I have this little piece. You don't have to use it. I'll show you how I'm using it, but you can elect not to. Entirely up to you. And then we've got and I went on and glued this for this video, but you're going to get a flower. Now you'll probably end up getting one of each, just because it's just easier to die cut them out at the same time. And then you'll get a leaf for each of your flowers. You'll get one leaf for each of your flowers. You'll get a circle die cut, piece of scrap to stamp your sentiment. This will come to you embossed. That's that swirly. Is that what it's called? Swirly. You'll get card stock with a piece of DSP for your second panel. And then for your third panel is a piece of DSP and then the basic white to go on top. Okay? So what do I want to do? Let's glue some pieces together. This one doesn't have it. All right, so let me glue these pieces together. We'll probably work on the belly band at the end once I get all these pieces together and just be easier to make some room. All right. So you could, I think, probably use this flip side, but I was trying to pull all these colors from the Balmy Blue. But you can certainly flip it over if you like the pattern better on the back side. All right, so I'm working on, this is panel 2, the second panel. And, oh, shoot. I forgot I was supposed to stamp. I hope I don't mess up. Oh, my gosh. Teresa. I'm so excited about putting this together. I am not paying attention. All right. Boy, this is... If I mess this up, we're just going to pretend like it was done fine, and I'll just have to tear it apart. I'm doing exactly what I said I don't like to do, and I don't like to do this. This bothers me. All right. All right. I guess that's good that at least I show you things not to do, right? That's how sometimes you learn the best. All right. So when you stamp this, I don't know if you can see it here, you want, again, like we did on the other card, you don't want to stamp in the center because of the overhang here. You want to center top and bottom, and then you want to scooch your sentiment over to your left. All right. So, oh my gosh. Wish me luck, guys. I just need to slow down, right? All right, I think it's going to work. Yay! I don't recommend doing it in this sequence, though. Make sure you stamp your sentiment on the DSP before adhering. Wow, got lucky on that, right? All right. Okay, whew. All right, am I stamping? I'm not stamping that, so I'm good with gluing this piece together. All right. Wow. And I'm a little out of practice. It was probably almost a week and a half I hadn't been doing any stamping. We had family over, grandkids, 4th of July, and trying to get back into the groove of things. I had a blast with them. They were so much fun. I'm worn out, or I was worn out. I think I've recovered pretty good. But they are just so much fun. You just never know what's going to come out of them little mouths, right? Okay, so I got one more stamping. I need to stamp that. Oops. And then I'll cut that up. So stamp that. So many candles. Perfect. stamps wonderfully too. And it's not operator error, right? Mine tend to be operator error. All right, put that over there. We are done stamping. Let's do some assembly to make some room. And again, we want to find the wider section for the front. And we just want to glue that. Again, not any particular direction of the embossing piece, so you can put it whichever direction you so choose. I'm thinking not using the piercing mat, you might be able to see the edge a little bit better. But I like using my piercing mat when I'm messing with glue. All right, so I'm just going to center the 3 edges and not worry about the bottom. This side here. Bottom as in your right. Okay, we're good. All right, so this piece, the center panel, or panel number 2, I'm gonna glue it there. All right, center it. That looks pretty good before I glue it. Perfect. All right, and then the 3rd panel, which goes right here, will go right there. Another thing in the written tutorial, I used, this is 6x6 paper, and I have a picture showing the best way to cut it so that you have 0 scraps when you do this particular funfold. I was quite proud. All right, I think, let's see. Yep, covered up. You don't even see it. Perfect. All right, so I need, I think we're done with the actual card itself. Let's do the envelope. And then what will be left will be the belly band. Oop, glad I got that. That piece got stuck. All right. Let's see here. It hangs over. I give the piece for your envelope is wide enough and long enough that it will hang over, and you just have to trim off the excess. I mean, I guess you could leave at least the part of it, the bottom part, there, and just create a square flap instead of a rounded corners. You could certainly do that, but I'll just trim it up. Oops. Have you ever trimmed off the paper and actually cut into your envelope to where it was it was pretty obvious? It was difficult to recover from. I've had that happen a time or two. You just gotta laugh. Luckily it didn't have a postage stamp on it already. The cost of postage nowadays. All right, so that envelope is done. I'll put you over there. We're done with that. All right, let's work. Oh, I still need this one though to create the belly band. All right, so this is how I do it. Now, there's different ways out there, but I just found that this was the best approach for me when I do belly bands. All right, I lay it flat and I get the card and I kind of sort of find the center. You don't have to be exact, because I like for my belly band to meet in the middle, in the front. I don't like it in the back because I like to have the seam hidden. All right, so what I do is to help with the paper, with the cardstock, without having crazy creases, I'll use my bone folder. Now, I won't go necessarily up against the edge of the card. I go over it's just a smidgen, just a scooch over, and I just draw, just kind of create your own embossed, not embossed, but scored. Oops, that's not even straight. I just slid it over a little bit, just to create a little bit of a scoring, so it'll be easier to fold it when you need to. And then I'm going to slide this card over just a little bit, just a scooch, and I'm going to do the same thing, create a scoring, okay? Now, you don't have to do that. You can just wing it, but I like to try to get it center as best I could, as best as I can. Bestest. You gotta love it. All right, so I need this back again. Now, another thing you can do is work on, I'm going to say, softening the fibers of your cardstock, and I'll show you here in just a second. That's another thing that will help slide the belly band on and off of your card, because you don't want it so tight, because you're going to struggle and end up cutting or tearing your card base. So this belly band is not going to come to you, is it? I am not going to score it for you. I'm not quite sure packing. One side might be, just because I'm afraid, because it's so long, that it might get ruined in the mail. I may just fold over one and then you can fold the other. But as you can tell, can you see that it doesn't go completely over? So we're going to fix that with this little piece. But before I was mentioning about softening the belly band, you can take your bone folder and just kind of, just real soft, just run it over, and it helps mold the belly band, makes it a little bit more pliable. All right, so we want this little piece, and it's probably going to be more than what you need, but better safe than sorry. You want to connect the pieces, right? The belly band, to make it one. So if you don't like adding this little piece, fine, you don't have to. When you adhere the circle, you just need to make sure that you put dimensionals on the outer part and not the center, or else you're gonna adhere your belly band like this, because of the open area right there. I think that made sense. All right, so we are going to, I like to have the belly band on the glued on the inside piece, but it really doesn't matter. Just personal preference, but that's just what I like. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue, and I can add a little bit more. Add it down. And if it's a little crooked, it's not that big of a deal, because it's going to, you don't see it. It's going to be hidden. So put all this, put it down. And there we go. Let's try it out. And you may have to bend let me do this with my right hand. You might have to bend the card like this for a little, oops, it might be a little bit too tight. All right. Get right about right there, I think. Yeah, that should work. And what's great is you're not going to see this piece I just tore. It's going to be covered. Oops, there we go. I did the first one a little too tight. So again, I guess this is a video of don't do what I did. All right, so it feels like it's pretty loose, but your card pops up, so it's going to keep it in place. All right, so we're good. Okay, Now, let's put this together. I would, in personal preference, I would go ahead and adhere this before building, just so you can see how everything's laid out. So I'm going to put that in the middle, and I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals, and I'm going to go dimensionals going across, which is going to be right in there. Let me put my glue up because I'm done with my glue for now. All right, so I'm bring over some dimensionals, and I think 3 is more than enough. Okay, so I use my tweezers to tell me where the dimensionals are, and that looks about right. Just give it a good press. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this together just so I can see. Yeah, that fits really nice. Okay, oh, I got to cut these. I forgot to cut these. So we want straight cut. Let me cut these up. I hope you guys decide to get this stamp set. It's just so fun. The possibilities are endless with the sayings. All right, we're done with that. Okay. So let's see here. We want to say so, oops, many candles, and I want to offset because I want room for this flower in this leaf. Like that. So I'm going to put the leaf, and you don't have to, but I like to have my leaf pop out just a little bit. So add a little bit of glue, and I'm going to tack it. I don't know where I'm going to tack it. Let's see. I'll tack it here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. But you don't have to necessarily stagger the way I do, or having it hang over. I just like that when it's a belly band. You know, again, it's just personal preference. That's what makes it great when you get kits in the mail. You do it however you like. And it's okay if you don't like it the way I do it. I just provide you with one suggestion. If that sparks creativity, I absolutely love it even more. Right? All right, so I'm just gonna put that there. So cute. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so you got that and you got that. Let me put this back on. Now this belly band's a little bit tighter to where I had to actually bend the card a little bit, but I kind of like this one loose, and it's going to help the recipient know that it slides on and off. So again, personal preference on how you do it, and then I'll add the sequins later when I put this in the mail. But this is card number, what card is that? Card number 3. All right, so let me bring these over. Almost done, guys. Stick with me, please. You don't want to have too much longer. So we have card number 3. I'm not going to take that band over off and show it to you. Card number 2 opens up that way. And then card number 1 opens up this way. Definitely, I can see this as a masculine card. I don't know about you guys, but I do. All right, so to get these kits to you, you'll get a total of 6. You'll get 2 of each design. And if you would, place a minimum order of $45 before tax and shipping. Through my online store, I'll send you the kits. You'll also get the written tutorial, which is somewhere here. The written tutorial that has the pictures, all the list of products used with the order number, the measurements, and I go a little bit more detail with the pictures and try to cover some helpful tips. I think I've covered most of them in this video, but you know, sometimes I just forget with the little notes, but the written tutorial does cover them. And then any orders that are over $75, again, before tax and shipping, you'll also get the kit plus a pack of dimensionals, which we all know everybody uses dimensionals. And then any orders over $100, you'll get the Card Class to Go kit, the written tutorial, the pack of dimensionals, plus a pack of embellishments. And my intent is by 31 July, I'll have your kits out to you in the mail. I'll send you an email letting you know that, hey, the package either has been shipped or the day that it's going out, and I will attach the written tutorial to that email for you. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm glad that I was actually able to show you some mistakes and how to overcome it. I don't want anybody getting frazzled when they're stamping, because this is supposed to be fun, and it's not supposed to get you aggravated. So I hope you guys liked this month's the embossing folder along with this super fun stamp set. Hopefully I've convinced you to get this. It's just been a lot of fun, and you gotta admit it makes you smile. At least one of the sayings has made you smile. So give me a thumbs up if you like this. I do appreciate that. Lets me know that I'm on target with what you guys are looking for. And as always, have a wonderful week, and happy stamping to you all. Take care.